You know, I salute my dad for doing what he did, bringing me here. Some of the history of my dad, as well as just history between Germany and Russia. A few lines, I'll give them to you. In 1939, the Germans and Hitler, Stalin and Russia teamed up and they overtook all of Poland.
Yeah, Poland.
West Germany was taken over by Hitler. East German was taken over, East Poland was taken over by the Russians. Mm-hmm. Anyways, that stayed like that for about a year and a half. Then in June of 41, the Germans and Hitler come into East Poland, wanted to take that away from the Russians. Well, they went to war over it and they got defeated. You know, the Germans got defeated.
Yeah.
But while the Germans were there in East Poland, they started out in that very southeast corner, and that's where my dad is from. And they come in by the truckloads of these Germans, and they come and they kick my dad's they kick my dad's front door down. And what do? You know, you got about 10 German soldiers there, and they all got guns in their hands. And you know, hey, everybody's scared, and the Germans are looking for young men to help fight the war for Hitler. Mm-hmm. Anyways, so the soldiers come in there. They first wanted to take my oldest brother at the time. My dad's oldest son was 12 years old at that time. And a typical boy, he's going to fight you because he's not going to want to go with a stranger. Mm-hmm. So he kicked one of the German soldiers in the nuts, and the German got mad and he shot my brother right there in the front room. Then my dad's two brothers were there. My dad's two brother-in-laws were there. They refused to go with Hitler and the German soldiers also, and they shot them right there on the spot as well. So my dad, he's devastated, you know, seeing all of his family just get shot.
He killed in a matter of seconds.
So he raised his hand and surrendered and said, yeah, I'll go with you. So my dad was taken prisoner by Hitler and all the soldiers, and eventually was placed in a concentration camp outside of Munich, Germany, a place called Dachau. Mm-hmm. And thank God, somehow, him and many other Polish people who were in the concentration camp escaped, and they lived many days up in the mountains, you know, laying low, trying to hide from the Germans. And somehow the United States Army was there as well, and they found my dad and many Polish people up in the mountains. And at that time, they asked my dad if he wanted to join the United States Army. And my dad immediately said yes. Yeah. Because he's got so much anger on what the Germans have done to his family.
Yeah.
So anyway, he was transported to an army base. He had to go through basic training and all the other routine that the army requires. Mm-hmm. And he went to war against Hitler, fought World War II against him. He even got shot in the stomach out there in the battlefield. He just darn lucky. He was picked up out of the battlefield and somehow managed to get to a hospital there. And for several weeks, he went to hospital, had that gunshot wound to the stomach, and he overcome that. He got well from that. And then they put him at the army base at one of the front gates there. Mm-hmm. And just like anything, they have time off. So he would go to town in Munich, and he met my mother. Later, they got married. My older sister was born there. And by that time, the war was already over with. And they asked him if he wanted, where did he wanted to go? And my dad said, well, I want to go to the United States. So the government and the army fixed him up with a program they called sponsorship program. Sponsorship is where the government comes in there and they'll find you a sponsor, basically provides you with work, salary, and a place to stay. And you have to stay with that sponsor for 1 year. And my dad did that exact same thing. Well, and then he was when he come to the United States, his sponsor was from Vegas, New Mexico. Mm-hmm. His job duty was take care of a big ranch here. It's a 2-section ranch. A section is 1 mile by 1 mile square, taking care of a lot of cattle. My dad stayed with him for 3-4 years, and this man went bankrupt. So when he filed bankruptcy, my dad had no choice but to go find work somewhere else.
Yeah.
So.
And tell me again, where was this at?
This is all in Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Oh, in Las Vegas, New Mexico.
The ranch is south of Las Vegas, New Mexico. Romeroville, which is about 20 miles south, and then a little bit to the west, about 8 miles, called Hojitas Fria. Mm-hmm. Anyway, the ranch is out there, and my dad would go once a week, by horse or by car, and come to the grocery store. And when the sponsor, Charlie Girardi, filed bankruptcy, he lost everything. And lucky, the man at the grocery store put my dad to work. His name was Ben Lindum, mm-hmm. on the main street there in Vegas. And my dad cut meat for him.
How old was he at this time?
I'm going to say probably 40s, 50s.
How old was he when he had you?
Probably about that same age, 50.
About that time?
50.
Wow. So he was already an older man by the time he had you?
He's an older fella. He lied about his age, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, he worked for Ben Lindum, and then Ben Lindum owned a little slaughterhouse where they butcher cattle, hogs, and whatever, would sell meat at the grocery store. So my dad would bounce back and forth, both at the store, cutting up the meat, and butchering the hogs and the cattle there at the slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
Then Lindum learned that buying meat from Schwartzman's, which was here in Albuquerque, they're no longer in business today, but back in the 50s, 60s, Schwartzman was a big meat packing place, and mm-hmm. they would buy meat from Schwartzman's, and the delivery man would come and deliver it to Vegas, New Mexico, to the little grocery store, and my dad would cut up the meat for, hamburger, steaks, chops, roasts, whatever. And my dad become good friends with the truck driver there delivering the meat. And I guess my dad wanted to move to Albuquerque, and he worked a deal with the truck driver. Truck driver, I guess, spoke for him and got him a job there working for Schwartzman's as a meat cutter.
Yeah.
And that's when my family, my mom, my dad, my oldest sister was still alive then. She's older than I am. We all moved to Albuquerque mid-50s. And I pretty well lived there all my life. So I'm a Valley boy all my life.
So you guys moved to the South Valley, right?
Yes, sir.
South Valley.
Yes, sir.
So what? I never saw your parents' house. Where was that at?
My dad's house?
Yeah.
My dad lives, mom and dad, when they first come to Albuquerque, they rented an apartment directly south of my home. I live right on Blake Road.
Yeah. And
the people there would never sell that house to my mom.
The one that you live in now?
So they moved just north of me.
Yeah.
A road on Mervosh. And I pretty well grew up right there. And after I graduated, then I bought a home on Blake Road, and I'm still there today.
Yeah. I've been in your house a bunch of times. It's a really, really nice place.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a pretty amazing story, don't you think?
To go through all that, your family,
I think so.
Your parents.
I know my dad went through hell and back.
Wow.
Another thing I need to address is, I lost my dad when I was 17. I miss him dearly.
Yeah.
But the relatives on my dad's side kept sending mail.
Yeah.
Kept sending mail to us. Then finally I gave him my phone number, and one night I got a phone call. And we've been calling back and forth, and one of the nieces over there speaks English pretty good.
Out in Munich? Is that where they're at?
No, this is in East Poland.
East Poland.
East Poland.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so it went back and forth by phone call, and they kept telling me, you need to come visit. So I says, okay. At that time, then I went and got my passport. And then the rule is to go over there. You just can't go over there by passport alone.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get an invitation first. Invitation is a background check on the family over there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to prove to their government that they can afford my stay when I go over there. Then once you get that invitation notarized or stamped or okay, then you go get your visa.
Mm-hmm.
Then once you get that visa and passport, then you go through a travel agent here in town, and they have rules you have to follow and get everything gathered. And I went for the first time to meet my family. This has been over 20 years ago. And I've been there probably 15 times.
Oh, wow.
And I tell you what, it's the scariest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, going over there?
Is go halfway around the world.
Yeah.
It's scary. They don't like the American to start with.
Yeah.
And they could easily knock me in the head. And who
be
am
done
I?
with you.
Yeah.
Be done with you real
And they're
quick.
still under communist power.
Yeah.
But anyways, my mom, my sisters, everybody said, no, don't go, don't go. But my heart told me I needed to go.
Yeah.
Because I want to meet my dad's family, you know. I want to see my roots.
Yeah.
So I did wind up going, scared, but I did go. And lucky my family was there at the airport as promised.
Yeah.
That's a scary deal, you know. You're going to wonder, is my family going to be there
Yeah.
when I get there?
Or is it going to be the damn
Exactly.
army or something?
Well, at the airport.
Yeah.
So anyways, they were there, and, you know.
How was that walking up, like getting off the plane, walking through and seeing your dad's family there waiting for you? How did that make you feel?
It just a big relief.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you've always thought about that. Always wonder, where did my dad come from?
Did you see
know,
resemblance?
He told me about what his past was. And it's just a great feeling to get to meet my half-brothers, my half-sisters.
How did you know that they were your family? Were they holding a sign, or did you see resemblance? Did
Well,
you know?
we've had pictures. We sent pictures. You know, mail is about 2 weeks before, you know, you send a letter, they'll get it in about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So we sending letters and stuff like that, photographs.
Yeah.
So they kind of knew what I looked like. I knew what they looked like. And I tell you, they treat me like a king over there.
Can you
Do they?
imagine that?
That'd be crazy, man.
Yeah.
To have half your family that lives on the
On the other side of the world?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've taken me over there, showed me my dad's house.
Wow.
Where he was born.
Yeah.
My dad's father's house, where the Germans had killed him and burned his house to the ground.
Wow.
And they've even taken me over to the memorial. They got a big memorial like the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed me on the stones where everything is engraved. They show me where my dad's name is missing in action.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, the Germans took him and don't know where he went. He never come home. Then all the other brothers and brother-in-laws from my dad's side, you know, they had their names as well, where, you know, they show where Hitler's killed them people.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
How does
Crazy.
that make you feel, like, to know that Hitler killed half your family?
Well, it puts anger in you, yes.
Yeah.
Because, you know, hey, I did not know these guys. I did not know my brothers and stuff,
Yeah.
my family back then. But still, it hurts damn bad, make you want to cry because of what the German soldiers and Hitler has done. You know,
Yeah.
he's a very cruel man.
Very
you know?
awful. They did so many awful things. It's not even funny.
You know, I'm just one that has seen this or witnessed this.
And there was
And I
thousands,
hear from
hundreds
what
of
my
thousands.
dad tells
Yeah.
me. I listen to the relatives over there, and they tell me a lot of what went on and stuff. And, you know, they went through hell and back also. You know, he left 7 children there and a wife, and his first wife lived till 1992, and she always dreamed that my daddy would come home. Daddy's coming home. Daddy's coming home. And it never happened. Then they've also taken me over to the gravesite where my dad's wife was buried, my dad's father was buried, and many other groups of the family.
Was your dad? Did it like weigh heavy on his heart, like when you knew him,
I'm sure it hurt him damn bad, you know.
or he didn't really talk about it that much?
Dad would tell me a little bit, but you know, deep inside, you know,
bothered him.
when you get family like that get destroyed by war, hey, it's not a good subject. I mean, it'll make you want to cry and make you angry.
Yeah.
But doggone it, that's past. I can't do nothing about
Yeah,
it, you
there's
know.
nothing that could be done.
But I can just think about what my dad went through, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely etched in history, like really deep, and you know, I've never met anybody that was involved in the Holocaust, which you weren't directly, but your dad definitely was, 100%. And man, my heart goes out to him and your family.
100%.
That was an awful thing that you guys had to endure.
It's no fun to have all this bloodshed, you know.
It's no fun.
Again, I feel bad. You know, I salute all the soldiers out there.
Yeah.
Because they've witnessed this stuff like my dad has.
Yeah.
And well, I just thank God I'm here.
Yeah.
My dad has given me what I've got.
Yeah.
I lost him when I was young, but what do you do? You know,
What do you do?
I lost my mama 3 years ago, and whatever. You know, that's just life in general. You know, I still cry every day, but life goes on.
Life does go on. Life does go on.
It doesn't stop.
On another note, I wanted to say how you're a very popular man, Mr. John Klunsczyk.
New Mexico famous.
This guy has won the South Valley Pride Day 3 times.
Awards.
I don't even know how you even get into that. Like, I want to win one. How did that happen? Tell me how that went
I just
about.
knew one of the guys, one of the key players there, and I told him, well, save me a slot. You know, I got several ugly old cars, you know, and he's giving me opportunity.
Tell everybody what kind of cars you got.
Well, I'm into early Chevrolet. The reason I like early Chevrolet is you don't see them.
Yeah.
And they're much, much harder to build than the very popular 32 Ford.
Yeah.
You know, and you can pick up a hot rod book, and that's all you'll see is 32 Ford, 32 Ford. And most of them have Chevrolet power plant in them anyways.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm a diehard Chevrolet person. I've always liked the Chevrolet. And I say, well, why not just stick with all Chevrolet?
What year is your Vicky?
I've got a 33 Chevrolet 5-window coupe. They call him an Eagle series.
An Eagle.
Then I have another one. It's a 34 Chevrolet. They call him a Victoria. And they're both rare.
Yeah. Beautiful. Both of them are beautiful. That's why we have these magazines. You've been featured in 4 different magazines. You've been on plenty of covers. You've been on plenty of
awards.
What do you call them? Calendars. You've had calendars.
Couple of them. You know, I've been on many calendars. Route 66, and the list goes on. Here's just Rods and Rides magazine. This is the 2010 edition. You know, it's been long ago, but you know.
To make the magazine's an accomplishment.
Making the magazine, and then I got centerfold here of my car. And this is filmed, or picture was taken right down the road over here at Diesel Doctors. Mm-hmm. And there's many, many other photos that are in these hot rod books. Another one here I'm very proud of is this one here was taken at the railroad station and made the magazine January 2020, Street Scene magazine, and you got to be an NSRA member to get this magazine. Then I got a couple of other magazines over there. I'm in one of the books there on the very left. There's a show. The other one.
Left. The other one?
Yes, sir.
That's my right.
Yes, sir.
The other left?
What it is NSRA had to get together their fairgrounds in 2019, and I'm in there. I was one of the winners with my Chevrolet Victoria, and they got me making chicharrones there.
Yeah.
And you know, hey, if you're a Valley boy, South Valley boy, hey, we love our chicharrones.
Yep.
Let me tell everybody out there that this guy makes bomb ass chicharrones, like bomb.
He's pretty popular with everybody because of his chicharrones.
Yeah,
it's just something I like. You know, good food. Maybe have a cold beer or something, and good friends. Doggone it, that's
not bad for an old Polish boy. Huh?
Exactly, not bad for an old South Valley boy.
Yeah, there you go, South Valley boy.
Then they also got a magazine there. NSRA puts out what they call a yearbook.
Yeah.
This is an annual book that they print, and NSRA has many shows all over the United States, and here. They got my picture there on page 70. If you'll open it up and show the folks.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is at the fairgrounds, and got both of my cars there, and they got me in the middle of the two cars. Maybe you can get a good.
Get that picture.
Yeah, we could probably edit that in.
So,
blow it up.
anyways, I'm just happy I could say, you know, this is my.
What got you into cars in the beginning? How did that happen?
Well, when I was at high school, I went to all the schools, South Valley, Albuquerque. Graduated from Rio, and when I was a senior in Rio, I had an old '57 Chevrolet, and this thing smoked like a damn train, and they used to tease me.
Yeah.
They used to call me the mosquito sprayer.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's true. You know, I was spraying, you know.
Yeah.
But that's where it started, and then I got involved with a couple of guys that like at stock car racing, and hey, enjoyed that. You know, go race Friday, Saturday night, and whatever, have a good time, and always I got me hooked on this horsepower issue, you know, and I love horsepower. I like to sit in the car and it'll put you in the seat, you know. And well, my partner, or the guy who used to build cars for, he pretty well got out of the racing business, and I've always liked old cars, so that's kind of why I lean into old cars, and you can see what I've got, you know. That's just my world. I love old cars. We go all over the country to see my cars.
What are some of the places that you've been to? Some of the places that stand out in your mind?
I've been probably 30 states in the United States.
What were some of the best ones? Best memories?
They're all good.
All good?
All of them are good. I've been many times. Pomona, 2-time show winner, Grand National Roadster Show, Pomona, with this car right here, which is the 33 Eagle. Went to another good show with Darryl Starbird's show, which is Tulsa, Oklahoma. Another one, Wichita, Kansas, is run by Starbird and Devlin Brothers. Then we always try to go to Street Rod Nationals, which is usually in Louisville, Kentucky, and there'll be over 15,000 hot rods there.
Is it a lot? Is it stressful to load up those cars and take them across the country?
Well, you pray that you don't have trouble, and you pray you don't get bad weather.
And you pray that you strapped it in right, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, you know, just like any trip, you know, you want to go, you want to get there, be safe, and as well, coming home, you know, you want to go the distance and get home safe as well.
Yeah.
Because there's no fun, you know, when you're on the road and break down, where's the nearest AutoZone? Where's the nearest...
You don't want to do that.
Napa know-how.
Yeah.
You know, when you're on the road, hey, you're so much in the blind. I don't know where I can get parts to
In case
fix
I
my
need
car.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you have a flat tire, where are you going to go get a spare?
Have you ever done that? Have you ever
Oh,
broken
yeah.
down way out in the middle of nowhere?
I have broke down out in the middle of nowhere. One deal I did, we was going to, they had a car show there, Columbus, Ohio. Anyways, we got outside of Missouri, and this is a new car. I helped the guy build a car. It was a 36 Plymouth at the time with a Chevrolet power plant. And, you know, I guess the fuel gauge was not registering right. It said quarter tank of fuel. Well, we said, well, we can go a few more miles and then get fuel. Well, guess what? We run out of gas. And here it is at 9, 10 o'clock at night, and you're out in the middle of nowhere on Highway 44, and where in the hell's the nearest gas station? I don't know.
Yeah.
If you've ever been back east, you know, everything is trees.
Yeah.
When it's dark, it's dark.
Yeah.
Where here we have a little open space, and you can see a
You can
light
see
up the hill a little way.
Yeah.
Where back east, it's all trees, and
It gets so
where's
dark
the
you can't
nearest
even
gas
see your
station?
hand in front of your face, huh?
Yeah.
It gets so dark out there.
Oh, it's dark out there.
Yeah. I've seen that.
And lucky, you know, I'm holding the gas can. Lucky we had a gas can, and I was holding the gas can up, and the guy pulled over, and he says, "You need a lift to go into the gas station and get some gas?" Yeah, I said, yes, sir. Appreciate it. And he took me about 5 miles, got gas, brought me back, and
Thank
he
God.
did not want no money.
Yeah.
None. So, you know, when he wasn't looking, you know, I just dropped a $50 bill on the floor, and I said, thank you.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey,
just-
man, that's the way it is, man. I mean, it's you got to be appreciative, but also I could understand the other guy's perspective is just trying to help somebody out,
Well,
kind of like a pay it forward kind
That
of deal.
just proves that there's still like good people in this world.
Yeah,
that are
there's
willing to
definitely
help.
a lot of good people
that
in this
are willing
world.
to help other people.
Yeah.
Exactly. Another thing he told me, he says, I don't want nothing. Just give me your gratitude. Thank you.
Yeah.
And when you see somebody else holding a gas can up, you stop and pick him up and
Yeah.
take him gas so
Help.
he can get going. He said, that's what I want you to do. I run out of gas, and the guy did that to me. I want you to do the same thing to the
To the
guy that
next
you
guy.
see that needs
the next
fuel
guy.
on the side of the road.
Yeah.
You know, you give him that little help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you this, John. I know that you probably have dealt with a lot of haters in your lifetime with the cars and people hating on your awards and stuff like that. How do you deal with that?
Well, to me, you gotta just leave it with a smile. You know, no matter what you do or who you are, you're gonna have people that love you, and then you're gonna have people that hate you. So what do? You just, the best way to handle situation is just be a good-hearted person. You know, the guy may badmouth you or call you names or something. Just salute him and tell him thank you or something.
Yeah.
Rather than quarrel or make things worse, just leave him with a smile.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to deal with that like at a car show or a show where you see
I've
guys
had-
talking stuff?
I've had
talking
issues,
crap
you know.
about your cars?
People get angry at me, you know. Why does he get a first place when I should have got that first place?
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm not the judge. I didn't make the call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy showing my car off, and that's just the way the trophies tumbled, you know.
Yeah. That's just
So just try to keep peace in the whole family.
the reason why I ask, because at the paint shop I do carry pictures of your cars up there that you say you have given me personally, and beautiful cars. I mean, beautiful. You get 1,000 compliments a day, but you do.
I got to drive one of those cars.
Dang, lucky. You have to throw that in and show off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy you didn't wreck it.
Hey, the brakes worked. The brakes worked.
Well, you got the painter there. Maybe he can paint it. But
Right.
please, don't, I'll cry a river if you wreck my car.
Don't wreck it, bro. But I was always wondering, because you like get hate too. because of the build of the cars, or that you didn't do it yourself? And I always wondered how you would deal with that when you go to car shows and all that stuff.
Well, both of these two cars I got featured in the magazines here. You know, I bought them from individuals who have started the car. I have taken what they've gotten and
Finished it.
finish it out or make it my way.
Make it your way.
You know, so I get some of the credit, but I don't get all of the credit because I did not start this character from day one.
And not only that, the cars didn't even look as good as they do
put
when
a
you
lot to
first
it.
got them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you put some beautiful rims on both those cars. Yeah, I know you've touched up the paints and got them pinstriped and worked on all the motors and worked on the interiors and all of
Just
that.
things like that. I call it just the makeup.
Yeah.
You know, you take an ugly car, put a little makeup on it, change the wheels, the tires, the way it stands, sits, as well as the graphics.
Yeah.
Hey, all those features will
Those
make
are the
your
details.
car look so much
Those
better.
are the details that wins the trophies.
Exactly. It's just that little detail will make you shine a little bit more than the Joneses car.
How many
Exactly.
awards have you won, John?
Multiple.
I've been
in
in his garage, dude, and the whole top of his garage, all the way around, has awards on it.
Oh, wow.
We've got plaques from all over, you know.
Over 100, you think?
Easy,
Yeah,
no problem.
easy.
You know, I got plenty from Hooters. There's many other car shows.
He's got a bunch
Route
of he's got a
66.
bunch of trophies about this tall in his.
Wow.
I've got
in
a
his
couple of
living
them
room.
big ones from California. You know, the ones out of town, that's the ones that are cherished the most because, you know, it's tough to go to California and swing
Because that's
with
where
the
everything
Rich
is at.
Joneses.
Yeah, that's where everything's at.
And come home
Detroit
with a
and
winner.
California.
You know, you may wind up with a runner-up or something, but still, you brought home something.
That's saying something to get an award out of town, because that's where all the big dogs are at.
Yeah, and in California and Detroit, dude, that's
Yeah.
where all the big dogs are at for
And
sure.
for you to bring an award, that's something. Share about an award, John. Share about an award on the show. One of your awards, trophies.
Where do you want me to do with it, or what do you want me to show
We
you?
just gonna be posing with it like this.
Well, I don't have it with me, doggone it. You should have spoke. I would have brought it, you know. But
It is
you
what it
know,
is.
It is what it is, you
Yeah.
know. Doggone, I've been in the winner circle, both here locally and then on the road, you know. And
Yeah.
I've got scrapbooks, and I can share notes with you, and I can prove to you that, hey, I have been in the winner circle both here in town and on the road.
Have you won the Super Nationals?
I've won it in my class before,
In your
yes.
class? Yes. That was a few years back, right?
Yes.
Yep.
I've been to the Super Nationals with him twice.
You were a part of that one year. I remember that.
Yeah, we were right next to each other in the main building one year, and then the other year he was in the main building and I was out in the weeds. I was out in the weeds, huh? I was in the flower room.
How was that experience for you to go out there for your first time?
It was really enjoyable, dude.
Taking the Impala out there?
It's really cool to like take something that you built with your hands and like you had your vision and people want to talk to you about, like, because when I drive my car, like, people give me the thumbs ups and stuff all the time, and sometimes people will talk to you like at the gas station and stuff, but like you don't really get feedback that much.
Were you nervous when you went to go set up? Trying to get everything perfect?
No, I was excited.
Excited? More excited?
It's exciting. It's exciting to like put your car into a competition, even though the Super Nationals really isn't like big competition. It's not like real competition. It's just for fun. It's like the local thing. Like the ones that he's gone to, like the Detroit Autorama and all those kind of shows. Those are
big
real
films.
deal competitions. But like for the local thing, it was exciting for me, dude, because I built the car myself. Me and Monica, she helped me a lot with a lot of the details and all of that. And man, it was a labor of love. You know what I mean? Really, to take it down to metal, take the whole interior out, take all the motor out, and
Build it back up.
Yeah, and build it back up, and to have never really done that kind of a build, you know.
Was it a rush for you? Like a rush,
Yeah,
so to speak?
And we won.
yeah, and rush. I don't know if it was a rush, but it was very gratifying and satisfying. The first time I took it to the Super Nationals, we won outstanding detail. I won $100. And I know that the guy that puts it on, what's his name? The guy that puts on the Super Nationals? Reggie, yeah, Reggie. He was really complimenting the motor because we really detailed it out the way it's supposed to be with the correct stickers and the way it's supposed to authentic. It's not like that anymore. I changed it, but he really liked it, and that's why we won it, because also not only is the motor all correct, the interior is all correct, which was very expensive to get because they don't make the interior anymore. It's all custom made. And then also I had displayed, I have the original first like 3 or 4 years of the registration of the original owner, and I had those displayed out, and it was just
the owner's manual?
Yeah, and the owner's manual and all that stuff. All original, all like, it's not like a repop owner's manual or anything. It was the one that came with the car. And it's just cool. I mean,
it's really awesome to go through that.
Yeah.
Put it all out.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, Super Nationals is a local thing, and it's a big deal here. But like John just competed in the big shows.
The big shows, yeah.
I was gonna ask you, John. I've heard rumors, just like at the shop and stuff, but like when you compete at the big shops or at the big shows, is it true that they look at everything from under the carriage to make sure the bolts are on the right tread to everything? Is that true?
Absolutely, they do.
I think I call it nitpick. The biggest nitpickers were in California, where people would come, or judges would come in there and judge your car after hours. You know, you have your show. You show your car Saturday morning, Sunday, and then late afternoon Sunday, you'll have your awards. And then after the award ceremony, they also give you a piece of paper on the judge sheet, they call it. And it's got all the comments from the judges. And where they got me is, well, if you understand them old cars, they pick up rocks on a little gravel road or something, and that rock will get stuck in your tire. And with 40 miles an hour driving it, that rock is going to come up and put a little dent on that fender. Well, what I did to help
alleviate that,
to cushion that rock hitting that fender and leaving a doggone star on the paint and a bruise right there or a dent on your inside fender, I went in there and put some heavy rhino lining, which is like a rubber compound.
Yeah.
I put that in there, and then I painted the rhino lining the same color as the car. And that's points against me that they used there, because that is not, in my class, had to be original paint and body and frame. Or not original paint, but original body and frame.
Yeah.
But I use that to protect my body from them doggone rocks. And then another thing, I drive them doggone cars, and they get a long Q-tip, and they stuck that long Q-tip between your valve cover and your harmonic balancer. They put it in there. It's got oil on there. Well, hell yeah, I drive this thing. It's not one that sits in a shelf, you know. So it's points again, because they found oil between my harmonic balancer and my timing chain cover. So that's how they nitpick. You know, they'll get underneath that car and crawl and find little issues, and they add them up.
Yep.
And that's how you get your score.
Yeah. They sure do that.
Wow.
But again, like I say, that California they pick on me. It was the hardest.
It's like things that you wouldn't even think of.
Exactly. I wouldn't think about.
Like if you would have known about the harmonic balancer thing, you would have cleaned it.
I would have tried to clean it.
Yeah, you would have.
But it's just one of those things, you know.
You don't think about that.
Yeah. You
Caught
don't.
me sleeping, and they hit me hard with it.
I know that at the Detroit Autorama, when you're competing for the Riddler is like the Super Bowl of custom cars. That's like the biggest award that you can win.
That's the biggest of the big in
Detroit.
Detroit.
They even count the threads on your bolts, dude, to make sure that every bolt has the same amount of threads.
Dang.
Yeah. Crazy.
Dang.
They go crazy with it.
They are picky.
Have you competed in that?
Very picky.
Have you competed in that
I've
competition?
never competed with the Autorama. I've got a very good friend has competed there, and he won it a couple of years ago with a '57 Chevrolet.
Oh, I know that
Johnny
one.
Martin from Alamosa, Colorado.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a good person, a good friend of mine as
I
well.
remember that. That was like in 18 or something, huh?
I
17?
probably showed you some pictures of
Yeah.
him. and
Beautiful
He got
car.
the Detroit Autorama? The Riddler? He won the Riddler?
He won the Riddler Award.
The
several
Riddler,
years
dude, is
ago.
like is
Super
the
Bowl.
Super Bowl. It's the
Dang.
biggest car show that anybody for
That's-
custom cars.
that's
Custom cars, that's the top, that's the
That's the best
of
echelon,
the
that's
best.
the biggest. Yep.
The award there, prize money there, it's just,
It's
I mean,
ridiculous.
It's big,
plenty.
yeah.
It ain't no $100 winners
No.
over there.
$1 million?
No,
I
it's
don't know
like
about
it's
million,
like
but-
50,000 or 100,000, something like that.
Probably a better.
Yeah.
Dang.
I know it's more money than I'll ever make.
Yeah.
So he's happy right now in Colorado, sitting there in his ranch.
How do I know him, did you say?
No, I'm saying is he's sitting back comfortable right now. He won the big cheese.
Well, I'm sure he's sitting pretty good. And then what it's done is he's a builder of this car, and it's just like anything, you know. It's opened doors for business, you know. When people look and they see your history, your past, and the work you do, hey, they're going to come knock on your door. They want you to build them a car or give them an estimate or something, you know.
Yeah.
They say that when you win that Riddler, like your the company that builds it, they back way up, dude. Like they could charge whatever they want to charge, and like it'll get filled up for years and years to come.
And you'll get business for years, like about 10, 15 years. Plus.
If you won the Riddler, yeah,
Yeah.
because you're like a prestige shop after that.
Yep. Dang, bro.
Then this Riddler is at Cabo Center, which is right downtown Detroit. You know, it's not
Motor
too
City.
far, and you're right there at Lake Michigan.
Yeah,
Damn. Let me
I
ask
would
you
love
this,
to
Johnny.
compete there one day. That'd be
One day you
like
think
that's on
you-
my
one day?
bucket list. Yeah, when I'm an old man.
He said
I'll do
a butt lick. He
a
said,
bucket list.
"He's that's my bucket lick."
When I'm an old man, that's what I
You
want
need
to
to
do.
put that on the wish list. You know, if this virus will let you have that or let that show go on. You know,
Yeah.
hey, put your name on the must go check it out.
I hope one day.
Well, ask your boy or your boss man. He'll let you have the day off.
right. Give me the day off. Let me ask you this, Johnny. Being from Albuquerque, what's one of the favorite things you'd like to do in the city?
Well, I love Albuquerque. I like my work. You know, I'm retired now. I've got a lot of background construction-wise. I like to build out of steel. I do welding. I built many of these cars. I built a lot of the engines for these cars.
When you go cruising, like where do you like to go cruising in town? What's your favorite road to go down Central? Is it
Well,
down
we
Central?
probably go down Central. The Central cruise ain't like it used to be. You know, back in the 70s, hey, we used to go up and down Central. At the time, it was VIPs, and then we go drag race over there at South Eubank. And when the police come, they throw you out of there, and we go make the block when the police are gone, and you regroup again and watch the drag races some more, or back again, cruise down Central from Eubank down to where Vips used to be, right there, San Mateo and Central. But those days are long gone. They still have these little get-togethers downtown where they did before the virus come.
Yeah.
And we'd sit there and just park on the side of the road somewhere on Central downtown area and watch the cars go by. And
You know what's crazy is like our generation, like when we grew up in high school, the place to cruise on Central was from Coors and Central all the way down to downtown and back up. That was like
It
this
wasn't
side
even
of
to downtown. It was just to Sunset.
Sunset, huh?
No, from
About Sunset?
from Coors to Sunset.
Yeah.
and back up.
And back up. That was like they had moved up this way. I got criminal trespassing charges from Kmart and First Emporium.
Did you?
Yep.
I never got pulled over there.
Criminal trespassing.
Yeah.
Using a payphone at Kmart one time, and then the other time we were getting girls'
You're all
numbers.
just using a
and they gave
payphone.
us criminal trespassing. And they let the girls go and gave us tickets.
You know, I remember my cruise days, you know, going up and down Central, and you light them up, you know, or you want to drag race somebody, you know, from light to light, and well, hey, you're going to get it on, you know.
Yeah.
You don't want this guy to beat you. And next thing you know, you got the fuzz on your back bumper, you know. And
The
what
fuzz.
the hell you do, you know?
You like that?
You know, then he can be nice to you and chew you out and tell you you need to get your butt home and to stay off the road, get out of here or something. Or he'll write you a bunch of tickets, and, well, a couple of days later, hey, you're downtown, you know, telling Judge Wapner some line of bullshit, you know, on who, what, and where, and how, and what are you doing speeding here, or what are you doing drag racing, or how come your tail lights don't work, and the list goes on, you know.
Isn't that the worst feeling in the world when you get pulled over and you see those lights go on, and you look in the rearview
when you look in the rearview mirror,
and you see those lights
it's
on,
like heart
and it's
drop.
behind you, and you're
You know
like,
what I mean? You're
oh
all,
shit,
That's what you say. Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Trying to look where to pull over.
Yeah,
Man, that's the worst feeling in the world.
I remember the first time I got pulled over, I was so nervous, dude. I was all trying to get my I was all trying to get my insurance card and everything. I was so nervous, dude.
Yeah. I was the same way.
Yeah.
I'll try and I'll pale.
I was with Luke, dude. I was with Luke. Yeah.
That's funny.
They're all, sir, can I see your ID? You're all trying to...
All pale and sweaty.
Yeah.
One day they pulled me over for drag racing and hot rodding on Central. And, you know, I've been twice to jail for hot rodding, you know. Anyway, first time, you know, my friends were there and they come and got me out of jail, you know. Second time, I wasn't so lucky, you know. Hell, I called all my friends trying to get a hold of them. I couldn't find nobody home. That was way before the old cell phone days. And what do you do? So I had to call my mama. Oh, shit, man. I called Mama. I never heard the end of this, you know. Mama would pick on me. We should have left your ass in jail.
Yeah.
You know, and then my neighbor went with my mama, and they went both downtown and got me out of jail. And, forever, that's all they do is harp on me, say, we should have left you in jail. But, you know, that's just something.
Lesson learned.
In my younger days in the hot rod world, getting thrown in jail, and what do? You don't have a friend come to your rescue? Well, you got to call Mama, and then what?
Mm-hmm.
You catch hell from now on.
It's crazy how life has changed so much from the hot rod days, from cruising and racing to what it is now with so much violence and gun shooting and
well, in the 90s it was pretty bad though too.
Yeah,
when we used to cruise, it was pretty bad. It was kind of dangerous to go.
It wasn't
cruising.
like in the hot rodding days and just cruising.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
mean,
have a lot of
the
shooting
bad
back in the
element's
day,
always been there, but
Yeah, you know, back in the 70s, there was a lot of cruisers, you know.
Yeah. Violence, though? Violence?
Well, you never did get to see any violence, you know. Everything was just mellow. It just, you sometimes, you know, you want to
somebody would get in a fist fight or something.
No fist fight or nothing, you know. We'd want to check out, you know, hey, let's see if your car will beat my car, you know. They want to drag race or they rev up the engine or whatever, and you want to see if you can outrun me from light to light, or you really want to take care of business where you go down to South Eubank and we'll line them up and see what you're about.
Yeah. Well, when we were young, when me and him we used to go cruising, he used to like to battle dance. He'd be like, "What's up?"
Yep. Breakdance battles. When we want to go cruise too, like
You still do that?
No, yeah, I do. You know what we used to do in the wintertime?
I'm listening.
We'd cruise with our windows blown, like the windows down, blasting the heater.
Oh yeah,
colder and shit.
I'm sure you used to do that
Trying
too.
to hit on girls.
Yeah, in the wintertime, did you just roll your windows down and blast the heater?
In the wintertime.
I've never done that.
No?
No. Yeah, and then we'd say they're too fine.
Yeah.
Another thing was popular, you know, this is what you used to do, you know, for entertainment. You know, people would cruise down the road and say you see a bunch of gals or girls over here going right next to you. Well, somebody get courage, and he'll roll down the back window, and then he'll back in those days everybody liked to moon everybody.
Yeah.
So you see 3 or 4 old girls in a doggone car, and get next to them, and I'll moon them. We used to do
My
shit
brother
like
used
that.
to do that, dude.
Yeah, he was always mooned everybody.
Yeah, he was mooning everybody.
Back in those days, that was what everybody did. They'd moon each other, and then the song come out, the streak or whatever.
Yeah.
What year was that, Johnny? You think
I'm gonna say mid-70s.
mid-70s? Damn, I think I would have liked to live in the 60s, 70s.
The 60s.
That's
For me,
back in
yeah. For me, the 60s.
grow up.
Yeah.
Happy Days shows was on, the Fonz.
I think the 60s was one of the best generations in this era. Yeah.
You got that movie, what was it, American Graffiti, come on, and you learn from what you see in the movie, and it's essentially the same thing when you cruise,
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Same thing. Well, it's an amazing thing that you've been in all these magazines, Johnny. You got a lot of awards.
And man, is a crazy story about your family, John. And
Crazy story, bro. Thank you for sharing that.
oh, and I wanted to say this man is a 3-time award winner, South Valley Pride Day. And
You did say that already.
did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it
You
before the
said that
podcast started.
in the early going.
Before the
And the early
before
going
the
podcast.
podcast started.
And the podcast.
Yeah.
3-time award.
Yes.
South Valley Award.
I've been on many T-shirts, many magazines.
Yes, sir. Mr. John Klunsczyk, thank you very
Klunsczyk.
much for coming on the podcast.
What are your future endeavors? Do you think you're going to compete in any other car shows?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. Everything's kind of locked down. With this virus going.
Do you want to?
Maybe.
If everything starts lifting up pretty soon, are you going to compete?
Exactly. I want to go. And I love going to these car shows. It may not be going far. Like maybe Alamosa, Colorado, or maybe Phoenix or something, or even Dallas. I like going to these little shows. I call them mini vacations.
Yeah.
You and your best friend or girlfriend, whatever.
And it's a good time.
Yeah.
It's really a good time to go hang out at the car show with your car, and because there's so many people that just love to talk about cars and it's a really good time.
Motorheads, is that what they call them? Motorheads?
Yeah, gearheads.
Yeah.
The car world's pretty neat. You have people of the same caliber. You have something to talk about. Tell me about your car, or I'll tell you about mine.
Yeah.
Or tell me about your yesterdays.
The car community is really tight too. Like even if you don't know each other, people will help you. Like just the other day, me and Monica were in my Impala, and we had just got some brand new work done to it. A new air conditioner, a new front runner system with the serpentine belt. I got all that installed.
Angelo?
Yes, Angelo at Outlaw Custom. I was gonna say though, but a fuse popped because it was just a brand new system, so we hadn't tested it or anything yet. A fuse had popped because I had ran. Well, we knew what it was, and it's all fixed now. But anyways, the fuse popped and my fan stopped because I got an electric fan, so the car overheated, and I pulled over, and about 5 different guys came up and helped right away. And we figured out, diagnosed it, what was wrong. We figured it out, popped a new fuse in there, and boom, we're off and running again.
Yeah.
But that's just the way the car community is.
They help each other
Everybody helps everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody helps everybody.
That's cool,
That's
bro.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were talking one of the earlier podcasts about the boxing community, how they all back up each other.
Yeah, same thing.
Car
Yeah,
community,
same
back
thing.
up each other.
Mm-hmm.
And New Mexico's a big car community.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has oldies, customs,
Dad vans.
dad vans. Woo! Hey, how'd you like that dad van?
You need to do that
Traffic
again.
for the night.
You need to do that again. Yeah, there you go.
All right, guys, I think we're done.
Yep.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. John Klunsczyk.
Thank you.
John Klunsczyk in the
Thank
house.
you for your time.
505 Uncut Podcast. Good night, guys. We're out.
Right here, Nuevo, New Mexico.
Nuevo
Amen.
And 505. Subscribe.
Woo!
YouTube.
Amen.
idolsmeo.com. Redbeardmix.com.